Hello, folks. This is Mr. Ellis. I'm going to demo for you the use of our packet tracer software, Cisco packet tracer software, to create a network that we designed in class. I'm going to demonstrate because this will be a part of your final. Okay. I've labeled and numbered the majority of the ports. I will show you how to do that here in a minute using the last few. Okay. The first thing that you have to recognize is that we have one router and three switches. Each switch has two or more PCs attached to it. In your assignment, it calls for 3 to 4 for some departments. Okay, the three departments that we're going to create networks for are human resources, the business office, and the data processing center. Each of these has a subnet that it will propagate throughout the devices. The first, the human resources, is 172.16.12.12.0/24. So now all the ports or interfaces will be, for example, the PCs will be 172.16.12.0.5.4, dot six, dot seven, dot eight, how many ever PCs you have. Okay. The gateway or the router's interface to that network will be 172.16.12.1.1. And this is also dot one, and this is also dot one, but it'd be 192.168.10.1. Okay, so when I assign the IP address for this G00 interface, it will be 172.16.12.1/24, which is 255.255.255.0. Okay, and we'll do that assignment here later. I would like to finish labeling to show you how to use the labeler. Okay, you go here, place a note, and for example, our switch ports for the PCs will start with F F0 slash 3. And this one will be F0 slash 4. Okay. Now, I'm going to place these right here so if you were to look at those guys, you would recognize, but I want to put them on the diagram so that if you're looking at the diagram, you'll know where they would attach those. Okay, and I'm going to do that for both of these guys. I'm going to make this 4 and this one 3. I'm sure it's 3. Yes, it is 3. So I'm going to go. It's getting a little tight in here, so let's move this down a little bit. Okay. I want to do that for all of these. Okay. I've labeled these guys fairly sufficient. It's sufficient for what we're going to do here today. I have each switch connected to the router is through gigabit 01, and each router has the gigabit port. There's only three of them. This particular one to your human resources is G0/0. To your business office is G0/1. To your data processing center is G0/2. And again, as I indicated before, each interface has the .1 address of the subnet. Okay, the VLANs for each switch has a .2 of the subnet. So it would be 192.168.42.2 and 192.168.10.2. And over here, 172.16.12.2. Okay. So when we get to assigning the addresses, which I'm gonna demonstrate on one department, and then it'll be up to you. Okay. So demonstration time. In order for these red to turn green, we need to make sure that the router has an address on it. The router's address for business office, we'll do the business office. We did this in class today. For the business office, the router's interface will have the address 192.168.42.1. And how do we enter that? Well, we click on the router. We go into the command line interface. Always answer no. Just put an N there and hit enter. Okay. And of course, you have to configure these routers. But for right now, all I'm going to do is the IP address. So I'm going to go enable, puts me in exec, and conf, or for configure terminal, conf T, and then I'm going to go int, and I think it was G01. G01. This is gonna take me into the interface for configuration. So I'm in the configuration interface. I want to go IP address, which is the way we assign the address. This is nothing new for you. Okay. The address is going to be 192.168.42.1. The /24 subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. Once we've assigned that, it's still not up until we do no shutdown, or no shut in abbreviated format. Hit enter, and the state has changed to up. I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to go and show you that now everything should be green. I'll fast forward to green that. Everything is green, and after we've made our assignment of VLANs and the default gateway on our switch and our PCs, we should be able to communicate amongst each other. Okay. The next task, now we're going to do this for all three departments. You're going to do it for all three departments. I'm going to demonstrate the VLAN and the address for the laptops and the gateway, okay, so that you know what to do. Okay, so we're going to go into the command line interface for our switches, and we will enable, we will conf T, or configure terminal. We want to go int VLAN 1. Now, in this VLAN 1 interface, it's a virtual interface, but it takes the same command, IP address, okay, and it is 192.168.42.2. Same subnet mask, 255.255.255.0. I hit enter, and now I'm going to go no shut, and our VLAN is up. Exit out of that. I would also like to set the default gateway. I exited too early. The default gateway is done in the global configuration where we are located now, and it is IP default dash gateway, and it is the same address as the interface on the router. It is the .1 interface, so it is 192.168.42.1. You don't need a subnet mask when you're setting that. It's already been recognized. Okay. And so now I'm going to exit out here and take care of the PCs. The PCs are fairly easy because they are assigned the .5, 4, and 5. So they give you a little space to do. There's no command to remember. It's an IP address. It is 192.168.42. Forgot that quickly. .5. Unfortunately, it didn't stay. 192.168.42.5. Now, when I move away to the gateway, it gives me my subnet mask. That's not always going to happen. It's according to the subnet. It will look at the mask and provide one it thinks you should have. That's the default right there. Now, the default gateway, again, is the address of the router's interface, 192.168.42.1. And that PC is done. As you can see, it's a lot easier than entering commands. So let's go to the laptop. On the laptop, we go to the desktop, and then in configuration. And the laptop is .4, so it's 192.168.42.4. And again, when I go there, it gives me the subnet mask. And the default gateway, surprise, is the same, 192.168.42.1. Make sure you get these numbers correct. Now that I've given everybody IP addresses, set the VLAN, and the gateway, the default gateway, I should be able to communicate. Once you do that for all of these guys, you will be able to communicate. Laptop 1 will hit laptop 0, PC 0, PC 2, laptop 2, and PC 1. But for right now, we're going to communicate from laptop 1 using the command prompt. We're going to communicate with his neighbor, PC 1. So we ping 192.168.42.5, and I hit enter, and it should go immediately because they're neighbors, they're in the same subnet, and it does with 0 loss. Now, when you do that somewhere else, you may get 25% loss. Just hit the up arrow and hit enter again, and you'll get 100% or 0 loss. Okay. That is my demo for the labeling and addressing of your performance event final. This is due by the end of next week. Thank you. Have a good day.